you love where you live? People in Georgia might think they live in the best place in the state. After all, you wouldn't spend your life somewhere you truly didn't love, right? Not always. In fact, a Pew Research Center study determined that almost half of Americans would rather live somewhere else than they do now. Well, if you're in one of the Georgia cities we're about to highlight, odds are you don't want to go anywhere. The goal today is to analyze the best cities in Georgia to live. How do we do it? Well, we looked at the places with low crime, great jobs, great weather, affordable housing, and solid schools. We even looked at short commute times. You might be surprised by the results. So pull up a chair and put a smile on your face as we look at Georgia's best cities. Our first stop on our tour of Georgia's best cities starts here. While lots of people in Georgia might be like, "Are you kidding me?" When you look at the data, it's actually a great place to live. Crime is the 10th lowest in the state, and they have the 3rd best public schools in Georgia. Plus, their residents are in the top 10 for income levels. Our next best city to live in Georgia is Braselton. The unemployment rate here is staggeringly low. It's relatively safe here, and the housing market is solid. And if you like sunny days, this is your place. It's the kind of place where you can just chill, yo. However, the public schools aren't as good as other districts in the state, so your kids might not be getting the best education. Continuing our best city tour in Georgia brings us to Woodstock. This awesome city ranks 11th in income levels, 5th in school spending, and there are hardly any vacant homes. That means lots of people want to live here. Crime is fairly low, and public schools are also solid. If you live in Woodstock, you're probably straight chillin'. If you're looking for a great place to live, you might want to consider Roswell. Believe it or not, Roswell families command some of the highest incomes in the state, and people here are pretty cheerful. Plus, each Roswell school gets about 1,000 more each than the state average. It sure beats some of the other middle and nowhere places in Georgia where you could call home, that's for sure. Dunwoody comes in as the 6th best city to live in Georgia. While there are a ton of places in Georgia where people are very backwoods, you won't find that here, where residents earn on average the 3rd highest incomes overall. Dunwoody is 7th lowest for crime too. However, the bad side of this area is commute times. There aren't too many other places in Georgia where you'll sit in the car longer going to and from work. Despite the fact that many people haven't considered it before, Sandy Springs is actually a great place to live. Families are comfortable here and the housing market is doing just fine. And it seems that just about everyone in Sandy Springs is in a great mood all the time. No surprises here that Decatur is one of the best places to live in the state. Decatur takes number 1 in 3 categories. It's the safest place to live, the unemployment rate's one of the lowest in the state, and surprisingly, commute times aren't that bad. If you don't have a job in Decatur, it's because you simply refuse to work. Where's the 3rd best city to live in Georgia? You might be surprised to hear it, but it's Johns Creek. Not only is Johns Creek one of the most beautiful cities in the state, it has great schools and low crime. Plus, it's not very crowded. And if you want to get away to a bigger city, it's easy. Yeah, people in Johns Creek have it made. This might not be a very popular opinion, but when you look at the data, Milton is the 2nd best city you can live in Georgia. People here are really successful, and folks in Milton earn pretty decent salaries, thank you very much. That means you can retire a lot earlier. Plus, you don't have to watch your back all the time, since crime's really low. And where's the best city to live in Georgia? That would be Alpharetta. Surprised? Households in Alpharetta are in the top 10 when it comes to income levels. And not only do Alpharetta folks earn great salaries, but most of them are employed. Plus, you have a ton of stuff to do within a short drive. Factor in lots of fun, low crime, and lots of friendly people, and you've got one hell of a place to call home. If you live in Alpharetta or in any of the other Georgia cities we mentioned, congratulations. You certainly have a reason to smile.